On behalf of all of us here with the Calgary Flames, my name is Beasley, saying so long and enjoy your evening. Right now, Brendan Parker and Meaghan Mikkelson are standing by with the post-game show presented by Original 16.
Original 16 gives you the chance to win one of 3 Calgary Flames fan experiences. Details in the new limited edition 15 packs of Canadian Pale Ale. Original 16, official beer sponsor of the Calgary Flames. Must be of legal drinking age, no purchase necessary.
Welcome to the Flames TV Live post-game show brought to you by Original 16, celebrating things done well. Brendan Parker alongside Meaghan Mikkelson tonight as we recap what was a wild and eventful hockey game here at the Scotiabank Saddledome. It looked like things might have been in control. It gets a little bit maybe more nervous and tense than you would have expected, but 6-5 the final tonight. The Flames make it back-to-back wins. What did you make overall of tonight's hockey game?
Obviously a lot of goals, which I think at this point was a good thing.
Yeah.
But again, getting up by, a good amount, getting the lead, but making sure it doesn't slip away and having your goaltender make key saves at key times in the game.
Huge save at the end, and we'll take a look at some of the highlights here in just a moment, and we're also going to hear from a couple of members of the Calgary Flames, both inside the room and here live on the desk as well, still awaiting those guests. But, maybe just a thought, and we can talk about the top line here. We'll get to the highlights in a moment, but just the impact that, they had on this hockey game here tonight. And, obviously we see the production, but, there was more to their game than just the points here tonight, wasn't there?
Definitely. You could see their chemistry really starting to come. They're zipping the puck around, making quick plays, and it just looked like things sort of started to really click. Shooting the puck, getting it on net, but it just looked a little bit more decisive and just looked like things were flowing a lot better for them tonight.
Well, just the confidence maybe, and I guess you get a couple early ones, and maybe that's how it starts to snowball. But you're right, just kind of, the tape to tape and the energy level that they showed here tonight. And maybe, a sign of things to come here for this group throughout the lineup. When you get that confidence at the top, it kind of trickles down throughout, doesn't it?
It does, and I mean, you need primary scoring, you also need secondary scoring, and we saw that from top to bottom tonight. And a player like Adam Ruzicka continues to contribute and make a difference on that top line.
Yeah, it seems to be a nice fit. I think tonight they finished with a combined 8 points, so Toffoli and Lindholm each with 3, and Ruzicka chips in with 2 as well. And I think you look back at the 4 games that they've now played together, and there seems to be something brewing there. But you can see just sort of all over the ice, just tenacious here tonight. And this is eventually what leads to a really good look, and eventually a power play, I think, after that. But here, maybe something here. This we noted this here on the bench, kind of taking a look. A couple of smiles here from the guys.
Well, and you have to think that, when you start having that kind of communication that it's a little bit more fun. There's laughter, you're chuckling. Obviously, you're winning, so you're smiling. But when you see that off the ice and on the bench as well, that there's chemistry there.
Yeah, no question about it. And maybe let's take a look at the save here at the end of the game, because we talk about all those goals and all that production, which is great, but you still needed one big save here at the end of this game to close it out. Let's take a look at the 2 here from Jacob Markstrom. First, there was the save the other night, Saturday, and I don't know which one's better. Timing-wise, I think you could probably go with the one tonight, but this one was spectacular on Scheifele. And then tonight, I don't know, they're both pretty good.
They're both pretty good, but both very necessary. And Daryl Sutter, said that when you're on a winning or a losing streak, you need your goalie to be a star. He said he was a star on Saturday night, and then this save tonight, that's a star moment for sure.
No question about it. That's, as you can kind of see with the clock there at the bottom, with 22 seconds to play on Anze Kopitar. So I guess recency bias, we'll give that one maybe the nod or the edge over the last one, just because it happened moments ago. And obviously a huge moment in this hockey game, and helps the Flames secure that 6-5 victory here tonight. Again, expecting to hear from Brett Ritchie, I believe, is going to stop by the desk here. But maybe as we're waiting for Brett, let's talk a little bit about Chris Tanev. I think just after that, in fact, moments after that, we saw a moment there, just with the final seconds and good stick and kind of what we know about Chris Tanev. But this isn't anything new for him, back for 2 games, and his impact has been noticeable, hasn't it?
right when he came back into the lineup on Saturday night, he made an impact right away. And, it was Ryan Huska that talked about this morning, talking about his presence and just how much of a difference that makes both on and off the ice, but also just the stability that he brings. He plays such a simple game, but, he does all the little things, especially in the defensive zone. The way he was blocking shots on Saturday night. I mean, your teammates see that, and it's something that they feed off of, to making simple breakout plays that gets your team out of the zone. And again here, supporting his partner, just making a quick, simple pass over, allowing your team to exit. And it's that stability that you really need on your D-core. And it's something that also the forwards feed off of. When you know that you have a defenseman like that back there, that battles like that plays a simple game that you can rely on, and is a real warrior, that's something that you feed off of as well. And like we just saw in the dying seconds of this game, again, it's a simple, small play that you may not pick out, but it's necessary.
Yeah, it takes that scoring chance away right at the end. And I know you and Corey, too, like defensemen, we love to talk about Chris Tanev, right? I mean, but for good reason. There's a lot of those elements that you guys as defensemen appreciate, right, about those games. I would imagine that that's just stuff that sticks out when you see that steady and, that presence throughout the course of a game like that.
It is, because when you think about it, offense starts with defense.
Yeah.
In order to get on offense, you first have to get the puck back. And it's players like Chris Tanev that make that happen.
Yeah, well said. All right, let's hear our first thoughts here post-game and go to the podium. I believe assistant coach Ryan Huska stepping in. And let's hear what he thought of tonight's hockey game.
What's your takeaway from a shootout like that?
There's a lot of the game that we did some pretty good things where we limited opportunities and chances once we got into the second period, I should say. Second period was a pretty good period for us. And then we took the penalty, that little 4-on-4 coincidental penalty, and I thought some momentum shifted after that. So that's when it comes down to making sure you're playing the game the right way, hard and smart, in order to finish things off the right way.
Can you talk about the chemistry you saw or didn't see in the four lines?
Well, the one line was good tonight, for sure. I thought they moved the puck around really well, the three of them together. Adam did a good job of using his size tonight and going to the net. And you can see that, for me, over the last couple of games, certain guys have raised their level, and we needed to find a way to win games, and Elias has been one of them, and so has Tyler. So that was a good line for us tonight, for sure.
I know Adam doesn't have a lot of experience at the pro level playing the wing, but have you liked the progress we've seen from him in that position over the last week or so?
Yeah, so far. I mean, he's got a pretty good opportunity in front of him, so I think he realizes that too, and I think he wants to be a full-time NHL player and be able to contribute night in and night out. So I think that's the real challenge for him, is that he maintains what he's been able to do, and that's up to him. So if he continues to push and work the way he has over this last little while, he's going to continue to get that opportunity.
What's your assessment of Huberdeau and how he played on the line with Backlund and Lewis?
I thought he was engaged early on tonight. I think he's still trying to find his way a little bit, for sure, and now he's got to try to figure out some new guys to play with. But he's a good player. He's going to do that. It's just a matter of time. But it was nice to see him get something early on tonight, because that would probably help him for sure.
It looked like you were matching different defensemen with each other early on with your pairings. Just what did you see of that? We've talked a lot about the forwards, but it looks like the defense is a little bit of a work in progress too with who plays with.
Well, we went pretty heavy with 5 guys tonight. That's why you saw some different pairs. So, Nick was used sparingly, and I thought the other guys, they did a good job until that, the 4-on-4 session. Then I thought we started to get a little bit panicky with the puck at times, and we started to make some poor decisions. But the 5 of them, I thought, handled themselves well up until that point.
Is there anything, I guess, about how you guys play 4-on-4 that lends to that kind of jumpiness in your game, or is it just sort of the way you guys?
No, it's mistakes. That's what it comes down to. It's you find your man 4-on-4, and we had 2 guys go to the same guy, so somebody's left open, and it's the wrong guy that we left open. So it's mistakes. That's what it is.
Imagine you'd like to see the team.
All right, there's some thoughts from assistant coach Ryan Huska post-game, and pleased to welcome in our guest live on the desk. That's Brett Ritchie, and maybe just thoughts. I mean, it turned into kind of a wild one at the end, but you get the victory and get the 2 points. What did you make of tonight overall, though?
Yeah, like you said, 2 points is 2 points at the end of the day. We need those points right now, obviously. It was just sort of a weird game. I think it seemed like every other shot was going in. Seeing eye shots, tough saves to the goalie. You know, we haven't had a game like that in a little while, but I think we stuck with it pretty good. They had a little push at the end, and we were able to come away with it.
You scored your 4th goal of the season tonight, but you know, as I think everyone's been used to seeing from you is that physical play, which you brought as well. What do you think has allowed you to have that offensive success?
I can't put my finger on it necessarily. You know, credit to my line mates. Colsey made a great play there to get it back to me, and sort of a pretty easy goal. So I don't know what the difference is from other times when I was a little snake bit and not scoring, but yeah, I like seeing them going.
Overall, though, I mean, imagine, you know, you see the offense come early, and did that maybe this group has kind of been a night that you're kind of waiting for offensively when you start seeing the puck go in and that kind of trickles down throughout the lineup. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I think on the road there, a couple games, well, you could argue all 3 of those games we had in the last road trip.
Yeah.
We should have probably scored more than we did, and tonight we probably scored more than we should have. It sort of evens out in the wash, but
yeah,
like you said, it's for guys individually, when you see one go in, it just gives you the confidence.
Yeah, no question. It was take a look at your night's work here this evening against the Kings, and maybe just one last one for you, and that's about sort of momentum. You guys have talked about, you know, liking a lot of what you've done here, you know, got finally some reward for it in terms of wins and points, but just taking this down and longest road trip of the season upcoming, how you use it.
Yeah, it's we're excited for the road trip. I think it's a good opportunity to establish our road game. Really, that last road trip was short, and 3 games in 4 days. It was a whirlwind. We've had a lot of hockey lately, so we get a couple days here to get to Florida and quick reset and see what we're made of on the road.
Appreciate the time. I heard weather's not bad in Florida.
I haven't checked, but I'll bring you shorts. Yeah.
Okay, good stuff, man.
All right,
Congrats
thanks,
on
guys.
There's Brett Ritchie stopping by the Flame CV desk, and getting ready for a long road trip. 6 games. It starts on Wednesday, and a little trip to Florida. Ain't so bad at this time of year. Maybe we'll pick up on just kind of the conversation. We got more reaction coming up as well, but some things there from Coach Huska too, talking about, you know, some guys in the lineup and sort of the impact. Namely a guy like Adam Ruzicka and what he continues to show in the opportunity he's getting.
He's been given a tremendous opportunity, obviously, and Ryan Huska talking about how he likes how he's using his size and how he's going to the net. That's something that maybe he hasn't been doing as much in the past, but it's definitely been a huge part of his success since he's gotten back into the lineup. And as long as he maintains what he's been able to do, that he will stay in the lineup. So, you know, to me, that's kind of a little message that you need to keep producing. You need to keep doing all of the little things that have allowed you to be successful.
Well, we were talking before the game just about, you know, you've seen in your career a number of times when injuries or whatever it might be and an opportunity presents itself, and sometimes, you know, you take that spot and there's examples of people you just don't let it go, right? I mean, you earn it, and then all of a sudden you don't want to let that spot go.
Well, I think you have to take advantage of it,
yeah,
obviously, and there's a lot of pressure that comes with that, but so far it's something that he's thriving off of.
Yeah, no question. All right, let's go back inside the Calgary Flames locker room. Jonathan Huberdeau, he scored tonight's opening goal, and he's standing by. Let's hear from him now.
A little bit of relief we saw in that celebration when you scored?
Sure. It was interesting, right? It's a good term. Yeah, it was good. I mean, obviously to get a goal, been a while, and I mean, it's a good team win, so that's all that matters.
How did you find playing with Lewis and Backlund for the first time?
It was good. I think we kept things simple and got some scoring chance. I mean, I think in the first period we were always in their zone. And I think, you know, we were cycled the puck, so I think it's it was. I love playing with these guys tonight. So.
First game back, how did you feel about your game tonight?
It was good. It was better. I mean, getting in the right direction and got some scoring chances. But obviously, you know, you always want better. But yeah, that was a good stride in the right direction.
I guess, you know, obviously your coach won't be thrilled with the number of goals you guys let in, but it's pretty nice to see all 4 lines contribute offensively and show some chemistry.
Yeah, it was good. I think early, every line was going. You know, in the first period, everybody was contributing. And that's how we're going to win game this year. So that was good on that part. So I think we got to keep doing, get 4 line, and we're going to win a lot of games.
Did that 6-5 score remind you of a few of the games that you played in Florida?
Yeah. It won't happen that much here, but yeah, I mean, obviously we don't want this to happen, but at the end of the day, we came out with the win. So.
Okay,
Thanks.
All right, there's some thoughts from Jonathan Huberdeau. It's his first, the first goal of the game, and it's actually his 200th career NHL goal as well. So a little milestone from Jonathan Huberdeau, and a big goal, and really the start to what was an interesting night, as he put it. It finishes with what was the final here? 6-5, I guess it was. So my math's no good, but 11 goals. 11 goals total. Speaking of goals, Nikita Zadorov, he's put up a few of them this year, but we were talking about this 500th career game here tonight, and he's put a few in the net, but he's done his job defensively here this season. What have you liked about Nikita Zadorov and his contributions this season to the club?
Well, there's three things that I've really liked about Nikita Zadorov's play this season. First is his ability to break up plays. He's obviously a big body. He's got a long stick, but he's using a little bit more patience when he's jumping into plays, obviously being physical at the right times. The second thing is his jumping up in the play as that second wave of offense. He's generated a lot of his offense from doing that. But the third thing is confidence. You can see it making quick little passes from behind the net, right out in front of your net. You need a lot of confidence to make that sort of pass, but we're seeing it in his play all over the ice.
Well, no question, and that's just sort of been, and in the minutes, I mean, we talked about, I think at the start of training camp, and we had that conversation, was about consistency for him, and I think, he's seen that trust from the coaching staff with the minutes and how much he's played this year, but the preparation and things like that, that's all part of, it takes time, right? I mean, he said as a 19-year-old, you come in, you got a lot of learning to do before you start to figure out what makes you, an effective player night in and night out like that.
Yeah, and I mean, I know what that's like. I think for me later on in my career as a defenseman as well, it was something that, I kind of figured out as well when you get a couple years under your belt and you realize how important that preparation is. And when you're prepared to play, that obviously it comes out in your performance. So, that's definitely been a huge part of his play this season.
No question. And the other thing I thought, he, said that was interesting is that it takes time as a defenseman too, that, I think that historically you look through the league at that position is it's more difficult to settle in and really find what your strengths are at that position. I mean, did you find that too in terms of just the position and the learning curve that it takes to find and settle in there?
Yeah, I think also the more confidence that you have, the easier it is for you to just go out and play your game. And now he has that confidence. He knows what his game is.
Yeah.
It's that, solid defensive play, making quick, simple passes, but then jumping up in the rush and joining the play. He knows the type of game that he needs to bring, and he's bringing it confidently.
Just picking your spots, yeah. All right, let's go back inside the Calgary Flames locker room and hear now from Tyler Toffoli.
The biggest takeaway for your group after a game like that? There's all kinds of storylines. There's things you probably love, things you didn't. But for you, what's the biggest takeaway?
I think obviously we found a way to win. I don't think it's the way we wanted to happen, but at the end of the day, we'll take the 2 points. Division rival, really good team playing really good hockey, and it was a really good test for us tonight.
And at the very end, your goaltender with that save, how would you describe it?
Yeah, he made really good saves throughout the night, so that was definitely his best of the night, but he seems to be doing that often now.
How does it feel in this room when every line is scoring? I know that there's some negative takeaways to that too, but the fact is everybody's contributing offensively. That has to feel good in this group.
That's what we need. We need everybody going, rolling 4 lines, 3 sets of D, and when we play that way, we kind of come in waves, and that's how we're kind of built, and that's how we're successful. So it was good tonight. Like I said, we were on the right path and obviously didn't complete the game, but something for us to work on, but we'll take the 2 points.
The chemistry of you and Elias, how would you kind of describe that over the first start of the season?
He's an easy player. He's one of the best players in the league, and I'm just fortunate to be playing with him and trying my best to make little plays with him. And I think the past week or two, I think he's really took his game to the next level, and it's been fun to play with.
How's Adam Ruzicka fitting in with you guys? So far, it seems to be some offensive success.
Yeah, he's a really good player. Obviously, he was in and out of the lineup a little bit in last year as well, but I played with him last year, so I kind of know what he brings, and I think he's playing really confident hockey right now and just making really good plays.
It's nothing new. You've played against the Kings before, but what is it like playing against Drew Doughty when he's on the ice against you?
That's actually the first time I played against Drew, so I was really excited for the opportunity. Same with Quickie, so I'm glad I got to score one, and we got the win.
Did you say anything? Or?
I did not say anything, no.
There's still 50 minutes left. Thanks, guys.
Original 16, a great way to celebrate things done well.
Welcome back, Flames Postgame Live, brought to you by Original 16. Brendan Parker alongside Meaghan Mikkelson as we put a wrap on this 6-5 win for the Calgary Flames. Learned something new there. I actually wouldn't have thought that. First game against both Drew Doughty and Jonathan Quick for Tyler Toffoli. A couple of years in Vancouver, Montreal, and that was the first. So there you go. Nice to score against a former teammate sometimes, right?
It has to be.
Yeah.
It has to be.
Final thoughts as we just finish this thing up and talk about momentum. We saw how it could kind of build up on you when it's going one way, and now you got two going the other way. So how do you use that now and carry this thing on?
Yeah, I think obviously now there's not as much pressure on them as there was when they were on a 7-game losing streak. I think now they're starting to, as we saw tonight, gain a little bit of chemistry. They're finding the back of the net. They're feeling good. Now they can go down to Florida. You get a little bit of a reset, and then you get back on your horse and you try to get things or keep things rolling in the same direction.
Yeah, no question, about 500 again. And as mentioned, 6-game road trip now coming up for the Calgary Flames, the longest of the season that commences on Thursday in Tampa. So that'll do it for us from the Scotiabank Saddledome. We'll put a wrap on this one. It's a 6-5 final. The Flames get the 2 points, their second straight win, and offense spread throughout the entire lineup here tonight as they get the win and look ahead to the next date against the Tampa Bay Lightning coming up on Thursday, the first of 2 games in Florida. They won't be back at home until all the way on November the 29th, the final game of the month on home ice, and it's a trip against the Florida Panthers. As we know, there'll be a notable name making his return to the Scotiabank Saddledome that night. Thanks for watching Flames Postgame Live, brought to you by Original 16. We'll see you again back at the Scotiabank Saddledome later this month.